We're here to answer one question and one question only.
What was the best DCTV show of the last year? Hi, I'm Jason Inman.
And I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
Welcome to DCTV Recap, but a super special edition of DCTV Recap because we're not going to be recapping all the shows that you watch because you want to review them and you want to recap them and they're on the CW and they star DCTV heroes. We're not doing that. There's a lot of injury. I'm excited.
I see that.
I got dressed up for today. That's how excited I am. This is the first ever DCTV Recap Awards. And why that?
Yay.
We have a bunch of different categories suggested by viewers of the show, like you. We're going to give our choices. Ashley has a choice. I have a choice. And of course, we're talking about Supergirl Season 2, Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, The Flash Season 3, and Arrow Season 5, giving, we have a cavalcade of categories.
Ooh, cavalcade. That's another word.
And I think there are some really, really, really fun awards in here. And I hope this is the first of many years.
Yes.
So, first off, we asked everyone out there, what should we call these awards? Because we don't want to just call them the DCTV Recap Awards. Roger69501 said the Jawiin Awards.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It's pretty good, all one word. But Mighty B suggested they should be called the Legends of FLARROWGIRL Awards.
Yes.
Which I really like.
Yes. I can't wait to add Black Lightning to that next year. The Legends of FLARROWGIRL
Mean Awards. Anyways.
Only gonna get crazier, kids.
Get ready for the first ever Legends of FLARROWGIRL Awards.
I want that on a t-shirt.
That's our music. Okay, the first category, suggested by a watcher just like you, Ashish suggestion was Best Actor. So, Ashley,
yes,
who do you feel is the best actor in the Legends of FLARROWGIRL Awards?
Don't let our award statue for Marvel fool you into thinking that actor is not a gender-neutral pronoun and could be a man or a woman.
Good note. Yes, it also could be a bookcase, especially Barry Allen's bookcase, sometimes seen in his apartment and other times seen giving better line readings than Iris.
Ooh, shadiest award goes to Jason right off the bat. So my pick for this season's DCTV.
Someone gift that. All right.
Best actor. There's no question for me. It is Mr. Arthur Darvill, Rip Hunter himself. Yes.
Rip Hunter.
Yes, Rip Hunter.
The Toy Master.
And let me tell you why. Because I almost went with Stephen Amell, but then I had to think about it.
Okay.
And my think revealed to me that, like Winnie the Pooh, I had to think. That I'm like Winnie the Pooh in many ways. That Arthur Darvill is not playing the Rip Hunter that we're used to seeing from season 1.
It's very true.
In this season, we are seeing him play a whole variety of Rip Hunter personalities. Evil Rip most I guess, obviously.
Evil Rip was great.
Most fantastic. I'm all about Evil Rip. We get to see him play a weird George Lucas analog. You really get to see Arthur Darvill, the actor, showing us the breadth and width of what he can do, the collection of different characters that he can play. He is doing more work and making stronger choices episode to episode as an individual actor than anybody else has made across all of these shows. And as
a lot of range.
Yes. As an actor watching an actor, I find that really inspiring. And if you came to know Arthur Darvill like us through Doctor Who, it's nice to see him playing something other than Rory. And he's great at Rory, but it is cool to see that he can do more than that. So my hat goes off to one of the Englishmen who works on this show, continually the best in the acting category. So Jason, what is your pick? Who is your pick, more appropriately, for the best actor of the DCTV season?
Can I give you a weird segue about your choice real quick?
Absolutely.
So I really liked Rip Hunter as the villain. I thought he was really good at the villain. Let me throw out an idea to you. I want to hear your thoughts about it, since he was your choice. What would you have thought if they would have left Rip evil at the end of the season and he was actually the entire season 3 villain?
Great. Totally in 10 out of 10.
How exciting is that?
Hopefully they'll do that. I'm kind of sad that he's maybe going away.
Me too.
I understand why
I miss him.
Why you elevate Sarah to that level and you can't have the two of them, but I love him.
Yeah, and I just like if he would
if
he would have stayed evil and been evil the entire next season, I think that would have been really cool.
It would have justified the terrible haircut because all evil guys have bad haircuts.
He would have made the evil Time Masters.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right, so my choice for Best Actor of the Legends of FLARROWGIRL Awards. That is so difficult to say.
It's so great.
It's obvious. My actor got to complete their character arc. building on 5 seasons of their own show that they lead. I am, of course, talking about Stephen Amell playing Green Arrow himself. Stephen Amell has had a stellar season. It's been a stellar season of Arrow, and he's one of the main reasons why. Because all of his interactions with Adrian Chase were tense and amazing. He gave us a tear-inducing scene when we got to see him say goodbye to Robert and Moira in the 100th episode. It was great. Also, we got to see him give this amazing speech about gun control in the Spectre of the Gun episode. He knocked it out of the park at every opportunity, and I don't think he had a weak episode this entire season. He was in weak episodes.
But he was not the reason.
But he was not the reason it was weak. And I think the interesting thing is I think we saw Stephen Amell this season step up to the plate and step over the bar of becoming I would say, a veteran actor for one of these shows. On the same level as Victor Garber.
Yes.
Jesse L. Martin. David Harewood.
David Ramsey.
And David Ramsey.
Yeah.
Like, the guy who is always consistent. I think we saw Stephen Amell pull that off. I think we saw the switch flip, and I think he's consistent. And he is by far the best actor, I thought, of all the shows. And that's what made his show so great and be stellar. One of the best seasons of Arrow, and he's one of the reasons why.
Definitely. He's a leading man who leads his show and leads his cast.
So, Stephen Amell and Arthur Darvill.
Get the other blonde.
Go find this in a Disney store near you, because we're not mailing it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
They're rich. They're making a lot of money.
There you go.
All right.
Just write to Disney. I'm sure they'll mail it to you.
The next award comes from Ashish. I think that's how you say it. They suggested, Ashish suggested Best Actor. Sorry about that. The next award is Most Improved Character. Basically going from a character that we didn't like at the beginning of the season, but at the end of the season we did. Ashley, what is your choice for the Best Improved Character for the Legends of FLARROWGIRL Awards?
My choice for the Most Improved Character, it's appropriate that you picked a purple character, is Alex Danvers from Supergirl.
Yeah.
In season 1, I thought that she was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the idea that she was Supergirl without the superpowers. But for me, they never really scratched the surface with that. Kyler Lee got to do a lot of really amazing acting when we explored her personal life and gave her a girlfriend. A lot like the addition of Jonathan Kent to the Superman family. I didn't know that that was what I needed to make her interesting.
Right.
But Alex has ascended to being my favorite character on the show.
On Supergirl?
Nice. Yeah. I love Melissa Benoist. I love her as Supergirl, but Alex is my favorite. I show up for her. I show up for Sandvers.
Nice.
I'm invested in that plot line, and I'm so happy that they figured her out this season, and I think she's become tremendously important to the show. Who's your most improved?
Alex Danvers. There's no question. It is easily Alex Danvers. I thought about making an argument for Wild Dog because
I kind of thought you would.
When he first showed up, he's kind of a cliche, but you are correct that I think that Alex Danvers her character has improved so much simply with the fact of now she has a cool alien gun, which kind of makes her stand out from the rest of the DEO.
Instead of dumb alien armor like she had in season 1.
Oh, Lord, forget that. Now, there are sometimes her scenes with Maggie are not as great, but overall, I think you could have Alex Danvers take over the DEO and nobody would question it.
Yes, and I think...
Which is something you couldn't do in season 1.
I think that will happen because I think Jean's story is carrying him somewhere else.
To Mars.
Yeah, and that's where I want him to be.
Yeah, all right. So Alex Danvers, this is your Legends of FLARROWGIRL Award.
May you one day find yourself as Purple Batman.
Hopefully, go to a Hot Topic, you'll find it there. All right.
You're going to tell everyone to buy their awards.
Look, they're making TV money. We're working for internet money here.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to send them anything.
We're not making any money.
No. All right. The next Legends of FLARROWGIRL Awards. Damn, that name's hard. All right. Best New Hero, as suggested by Ariel Schwartz. So, who is a hero that showed up this season on the shows and that you like?
I have 2.
This is their award.
The Sonic Screwdriver.
The Sonic Screwdriver.
The 12th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. Ooh, it makes noise.
It's the first.
It makes many noises.
It's the first interactive award. Who's your choice?
There you go. I actually have 2 choices because I like these.
We did not clear this with the studio ahead of time.
We didn't clear anything with studios.
We did. We didn't even have a studio. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Terrific in all of his Mr. Terrific glory with, with the T-spheres, because we get the closest to a classic Mr. Terrific.
Okay, I was about to boot out your character simply because he was in season 4.
He was.
But he wasn't Mr. Terrific.
But so because he ascends to be Mr. Terrific
I'll give it to you.
Even though he's called Curtis and not Michael.
Barely.
Also Jesse Quick, because...
Really? Jesse Quick?
Yes, because Jesse Quick is kind of a silly comic book character who doesn't have a ton of relevance or a ton to do. She's got like one cool costume.
Yeah.
And they have made her a really interesting, really relevant character. She's got a badass costume, and I'm sad whenever they have to shunt her off to a different Earth. I think these are two characters that, by further defining their superhero identities, have really come into their own, and they look great. They just look so cool on screen.
Yeah, I'm not such a much big fan of her costume, but Mr. Terrific's costume is amazing.
Yeah, I love the T-mask, and the coat is everything. So how about you? Who are your favorite new superheroes?
My best new hero,
metahumans, is
someone I thought you would say.
Ooh.
The new Vixen.
I almost said her.
She is so good.
Amaya, yeah.
And Amaya, thank you. And the original Vixen was actually good. And I was a little worried about replacing her, but the fact of the matter is that Vixen's grandmother is introduced on Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 is better than the original Vixen, which is such a good, she's so competent. Her ties to the JSA are interesting.
Yes.
And then they introduced the subplot of her learning about her death, because she has to die so that modern-day Vixen gets set up, and that's a complication with her character. And also her relationship with Heatwave, which is such an interesting choice, and that actress pulls it off. Usually when these shows introduce a new hero, this kind of happened to Curtis in Season 4, they get kind of annoying. Because generally they want to make them the comedic relief.
Yeah, the learning curve is quite steep on these characters.
Or the
Wild Dog's the same way.
Yep, or the dolt. They usually make them a cliche.
Yeah.
Vixen, that did not happen. Vixen was competent episode 1.
Yeah, and often more competent than everyone around her.
Yeah, she actually hated the Legends. She thought they were nincompoops.
Well,
they
are.
The best new hero goes to Vixen and goes to
Mr. Terrific and Jesse Quick.
Okay, I might actually give this to Echo Kellum. We talk on Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, he's got great hair. His cornrows, I live for
them. The next award is the best single episode of DCTV this year, as represented by this Marvel Legends Havoc figure.
With those effects that they give in every box.
Well, these effects might be in the best episode.
Oh.
So, what was your best episode, Ashley?
For me, there was no question about the best episode. Arrow's episode, Spectre of the Gun, the gun control episode. I think that exemplifies what superhero TV
Title
shows...
of the Star Trek episode.
Yes. A questionably good Star Trek episode.
I think it's one of the better in Season 3, but that's not the point. Right. We're not talking about Star Trek right now.
That episode for me exemplifies what superhero storytelling can and should be when it's at its height in the modern day. It should have the fantastical elements that you expect. In street-level heroes, obviously you have a lot less meta-humans, but the story about Prometheus is good in this episode.
I also believe Green Arrow doesn't suit up in that episode.
He does not.
Yeah.
But we also get to tackle some real-world important stuff going on right now, and to see these heroes solving the problems of our world through their civilian identities, through being smart, through talking, through experiencing some of the lessons that they've learned having to be either vigilantes or metahumans, I think is really powerful. I think it's so relevant right now, and I think everyone was on point. And again, Stephen Amell kills it, gives an amazing performance. Yeah. That speech will go down in the legends of the DCTV universe. You will see it in fan videos from now until people stop making fan videos.
And that was the speech, one of the reasons I gave Stephen Amell Best Actor.
Yeah. The way every doctor gets a speech, this was Arrow's speech. And it's got a great episode title. Spectre
Doctor from Doctor Who, you mean, not real doctors.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about real doctors. Maybe. Tweet me, let me know. What do you think was the best single episode of DCTV?
I did think about Spectre of the Gun, because I do think it's one of the best episodes of Arrow. I did think about the season finale of Arrow because that's really strong. We got Deathstroke back. I also did really think about giving it to the 100th episode of Arrow because I thought that one was really strong. But then I started thinking about that. The thing I love about these shows is when it embraces its goofy comic book nature, but can still be serious and have a good adventure. And I had to give it to one episode that I think stood above the rest, as in every moment was fun, adventurous, and just like something we hadn't seen on one of these shows before. I'm giving it to the episode from Legends of Tomorrow called Moonshot.
I almost gave it to that.
This is the episode where the Legends, they track down Commander Steel to NASA headquarters, and we learn that Nate's grandfather hid the last fragments of the spear. And it's all about, we get to see the Atom walk on the moon.
It's probably his best episode.
I think it's Legends' best episode to date.
I just think it's Ray's best episode.
Yeah, it is.
For sure,
we team up with Eobard Thawne, and Eobard Thawne is not like the speedster guy in that episode. He's very calm. Matt Lesher gets a very balanced performance. We learn, it's the episode that finally reveals to us what the hell Rip did with the Spear of Destiny. We confirm what it is. And it's an episode that doesn't get too silly. And to be honest with you, we rebuked against this moment where Martin Stein, to waste time, sings
Dale! Daylight come and me want go home.
But the more I think about it, the more I like it, just for how freaking ridiculous it was. So I've actually grown to like it. So I really have.
That's great. I'm happy for you.
But that episode, I just feel like that episode exemplified the type of comic books that I never thought I'd ever see in live action. And that's why it has to be my best single episode. Moonshot. So there you go. Moonshot and Spectre of the Gun. Mark Guggenheim, who show runs both those shows.
Congratulations, Mark Guggenheim.
Come knock on my door. Okay. The next award, this Dead Man action figure, goes...
Well, at least he's from DC.
Finally. It's just what I'm grabbing.
I know. He's got dust on his
goes to the best CGI scene, or best use of CGI in DCTV. Ashley, what did you think was the best special effect you saw this year on any of the shows?
Well, I think it pretty much comes down to Legends and Supergirl. They are the most CG-heavy scenes. Although
Flash is pretty CG, but I
almost gave it to Killer Frost doing the Iceman ice slide.
That's a good choice.
Because I did think that was like so expletive.
That's a good choice.
Cool.
That is a really good choice.
But I picked a scene that for me had a lot of emotional resonance, and it was from Supergirl. It was from the episode We Can Be Heroes when...
We can be heroes. For just one day.
Isn't that the name of a band now as well?
Sure, it's David Bowie is what I was doing.
No, I know.
The late departed David Bowie.
Aww.
Who
is a superhero to us.
Who will soon be the season 4 villain of Flash. Continue.
Yeah, oh man, he has a better costume than any of them.
Barry Allen. I'm Ziggy Stardust.
I would watch the heck out of that. He would seduce Barry, no problem, and then kill everyone.
I can't get out of it.
Going?
Continue. So CGI.
We Can Be Heroes.
That was terrible CGI. We Can Be Heroes.
that was great practical effect. We Can Be Heroes. It's a M'gann and Jean heavy episode, and M'gann winds up being knocked unconscious, and then her and Jean have a little conversation. There's a cool white Martian fight earlier. That's not what I'm referencing to, although there is some good CG that Jason reminded me of before we started shooting. But when they are speaking to each other...
The White Martian fight is actually in the next episode, sorry.
Whatever, it's
right,
close
doesn't
enough.
matter. Yeah.
In We Can Be Heroes, when they're speaking to each other telepathically, they are transported to
they're on Mars.
the surface of Mars.
Yeah.
And it is the two actors kneeling alone on a green screen floor in a green screen room, having a conversation with each other. It's, for me, one of the most emotional moments from two characters I really like.
Nice.
In a setting that I'm dying to see more of.
Mars.
And, yes, that version of Mars. And if you can give an emotional performance in a green screen room, my hat is off to you because it's tough. Ian McKellen said that it's tough, and he's one of the greatest actors of our time. So,
it's a good choice.
Thank you very much.
It's a good choice.
What is your best CGI scene?
I had to go with a scene that I thought enhanced the story. There are a lot of great, like the White Martian fight in the next episode is really great. I completely forgot about Killer Frost's Ice Bridge. That's a good choice as well. Anytime you see King Shark's a good choice. Most of the gorillas on Flash looked really great. And there was a lot of really good special effects in Legends. I had to go with the one that kind of blew my socks away. That looked very real, but also was very impressive. And I went with a moment from Aruba, the season finale of Legends. A moment I like to call the crisis of infinite Eobards. There's a moment in the scene.
We had a Photoshop contest about that.
We did have a Photoshop contest. Eobard Thawne facing off with the Legends, and like 50 other Reverse Flashes all show up, and they all fight the Legends. And I thought the wide shot they did, where you saw like 50 Eobard Thawns, looked so good. And then also in that moment, the Black Flash.
Jason's favorite.
I love the Black Flash. And the Black Flash, most of the time, has looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. There's been a couple shots where he's like, but in this one, and also this whole scene takes place in daylight.
Which is impressive.
Which is pretty hard.
Yeah, daylight's not kind to CG.
I kind of want to know how many different poses Matt Lesher did to like.
And how many body doubles there were.
Yeah, like did he just do like 10 different poses and they duplicated and they like did like 5 or 6 different people with the mask on and then they just duplicated them.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so impressive, and it made me as a comic fan go, whoa, how the hell are they going to beat this? And so it enhanced the story, just like yours, and it looked impressive, which I think is exactly what CGI is supposed to do.
Yes.
So this Dead Man Award goes out to Aruba, and We Can Be Heroes. We're going to fax that to the afterlife so David Bowie can get it.
Fax.
I'm looking for our next award. Let's go with Deathstroke here.
Okay.
Our next award goes to Best Guest Actor. Does very proper. Deathstroke is a guest actor.
Yeah, there you go.
He has a little sword there. Okay. Out of the episode, the many villains, many heroes, people that show up, cannot be a cast member.
Yes.
Who is the best guest actor?
So when I was doing this, I didn't want to pick people who had previously been cast members and had shown up again, like Wentworth Miller, or I was going to say Claire Danes, but it's definitely Callista Flockhart.
You know, if you wanted to say like Manu Bennett, I would have given it to you, but I understand your point.
Yeah. So I wanted to pick someone who was specifically cast to show up in 1 or 2 episodes.
Great.
And for me, it was a pretty obvious choice. It was David Dastmalchian as Kadabra on Flash. Because Kadabra,
in the episode Abracadabra.
Yes. Kadabra is a very classic Flash villain.
Very silly Flash villain.
Very silly Flash villain. And the way they interpreted it to the show was still very silly, but he was so good, and they somehow interpreted him into an amazing aesthetic.
Yeah.
That he was threatening in this
episode.
Look. He revealed a little bit about the future, or we thought he did. It didn't super turn out to be that way.
Well, he revealed the Thinker.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he ended in an interesting way that leaves the door open for him to come back, which I think is the best thing you can do if you're not going to kill off of one of the villains. And I really like him. I liked the episode. He was the first person who came to mind, so I'm giving it to Mr. Abracadabra himself, who's across the Marvel and DC cinematic universes as well.
He's in the Dark Knight and Ant-Man.
So as far as I'm concerned, Abracadabra is now in the multiverse, and those are his other personalities.
I believe it.
So he's also on Gotham.
Yeah. He is on Gotham. That's right.
Yeah. How about you? Who do you think is the best guest actor?
David Dastmalchian.
Yeah!
Was also my choice. Abracadabra. I agree.
He was so great.
I agree with you. He took what could have been a stupid guest spot. Because if you actually look at that episode, not a lot of that plot, just looking at the plot, works. But his scenes work because of him.
Yes.
And that's the reason what makes this silly villain work. Here's the other thing. Abracadabra is a villain that you could make an entire season around because he's so powerful.
And with him in the role, absolutely.
And with him, I would love to see it.
Me too.
And I'm really excited. And that's the best thing about a guest actor. I'm really excited for him to come back. I think he will come back. I bet you we see him at least twice next season.
Oh, I hope so.
Because he's really good. He's really solid. So the Best Guest Actor award goes to you, David Dastmalchian.
Hopefully next year we'll have your action figure in the spin place.
We'll give it to you on the next press line we see you on.
Yeah, really.
The next award, the tiny Diggle Pop.
Oh, I like to pretend that that's Connor Hawk sometimes.
Me too. Is from HR Sweet, suggested this award. The best Easter egg. Okay, Ashley, these shows are full of little nice Easter eggs and nods and
some amazing
little
Easter
wink winks to the comic books or other mediums. What was the best Easter egg in all of DCTV?
So I think it's interesting that you just put the Deathstroke action figure away, because for me, it was seeing the Deathstroke mask again in the season finale of Arow and seeing how the arrow got put through the eye.
I don't mean to correct you again, but it was the episode before the season
finale. God! Whatever.
If I don't say it, the comments will. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So don't say it!
People will. Don't tweet at me. Was the return of the Deathstroke mask because
don't tweet at me.
Well,
keep going.
I don't care.
That's fine. That's fine. I never would have considered that. Really, it's interesting.
Really, I thought that was gonna be yours as well. That was the one I thought we were gonna have the same.
Nope.
Because it's such a good callback to the first season of Arrow.
Agreed.
It's such an iconic callback to Deathstroke's mythology in the comics. It's freaking cool. And I've been wondering for 5 years how it got planted there. And even though I wish he'd shot him in the eye, but you know, based on what happened previously, that wasn't gonna happen.
He did that in season 2. So. Yeah.
It was cool. It was gratifying. I liked seeing it again, and now I never need to see it again. Please don't ever bring it back. Thank you.
Aww, it burned up.
It did. What is your favorite Easter egg from this season of DCTV?
So, my favorite Easter eggs on these shows are where they make mentions or lines to other things. It came very close to being Mongol. The mention of Mongol in the season finale, the fact that Mongol's in this universe, the idea that great Superman villain could exist in this universe is really awesome. There was also a couple Batman references in Supergirl.
It was almost the Batman
They mentioned Batman like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But the one that stood out to me is the one where DCTV acknowledged a little corner of the DC universe, live action universe, that maybe we want to forget. Maybe some people want to forget. Mine happened in the giant 4-part Invasion crossover.
It was great.
There's a scene in the very end, in the party, where Brandon Routh sees
I
Supergirl.
forgot about that!
And he watches her walk by, and he goes, huh, that's weird. She looks like my cousin.
Yeah, you know what's funny? She really kind of looks like my cousin.
And that is such an amazing Superman Returns Easter egg, because Brandon Routh was Superman, of course.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that line was filmed. That's a line to me that's...
And made it all the way to air.
Yeah, that's a line to me that you would immediately lop off. But, like, that line is so amazing and so wink wink to the audience.
Do you think it was a written line, or do you think it was an improv line?
It was 100% written.
Okay.
It was 100% written. I give that to the writers. I don't give that to Brandon Routh. But that is my favorite Easter egg.
I forgot about that. That's a good one.
That's my favorite Easter egg of this season. So, incorporeal Easter egg, come pick this up whenever you want. There we go. The next award, Daredevil, is from Jordan Valdez. What was the best fight this year? Ashley, what was the best fight in all the DC TV shows?
The one that I screamed about in our last Supergirl review episode for Nevertheless She Persisted, the season 2 finale. The 10 minutes of that episode that start with Supergirl fighting Superman. We have seen Kara take on a lot of Kryptonians, a lot of Kryptonian analogs. It has never been this epic. I've been a tougher sell on Tyler Hoechlin's Superman than I think a lot of other people. This was the episode where I really appreciated what he was doing, and that was in no small part due to his great performance during that fight. This was like movie-level greatness.
Yeah.
And I want more of it. I want 10 more minutes of it. I want a whole episode of it. The choreography was executed beautifully by all the stunt performers and the facey actors as well. And it was a perfect combination of CG and practical effects. There's only one shot that looks a little bit rubbery, and this is what all the DCTV fights should be striving towards. And it's just epic to have Superman and Supergirl fight.
Yeah.
It was so good. There was no other choice for me but this one.
Nice.
How about you? What was your favorite fight?
My fight involves no CGI. It involves real people. Stunt men and women and excellent, proud workers and unions. How can you not go with Arrow? And with Arrow, it was then just a narrowing down which fight I thought was better. I came very close to picking the fight that Arrow and Vigilante have in the bank.
Ooh.
Because it's a long tracking shot and you can see most of the fight that it's Stephen Amell. But I decided to go with the best found object fight in Arrow, and that is in the episode called Checkmate. That is the episode where we were finally revealed that Chase is Prometheus.
Yes.
And at the very end, Chase kidnaps the reporter girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he goes to the elevator. He goes to a different floor. Adrian kills his wife.
Yeah.
And then Oliver freaks out. And they kind of turn this into this giant boxing fight, but it's they're just like, they're not really doing any kicks or hitting with their bow. They're just like straight up boxing, and then they go through one wall, they go through the next wall, they go through this wall, they throw each other into tables, they pick up pieces of boards and they hit each other with it.
Yeah.
And I just thought for like, you were just like, boom, boom, boom. I was like, it was kind of like the same effect, like your fight, except that was real. It was really dudes going through walls.
Drywall, yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it was also the most impassionate fight of the whole time, because I really liked the fight in the finale, but I kind of feel it didn't live up to the expectations. It didn't live up to this fight.
I almost picked the Oliver and Kovar fight as well, which I thought was really well executed.
Also a long take fight.
Yeah.
I almost picked that one as well. But no, the Adrian Chase and Arow fight in Checkmate wins the Daredevil fighting award.
Appropriate statue, I think.
I'm running out of words here. Next is from Garib Colt, suggested the most annoying character award, and they get this clear plastic Zoom case. The winner of this one, because they're annoying and we're not going to give them a real prize.
There you go.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Who's the most annoying character on DCTV this
Mon-El! Tied with Artemis. That's all I'm going to say about them. They don't deserve any more of my words. How about you?
My pick would be Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, I would take Jimmy any day.
I'm just bored with him. Actually, funny thing, I completely forgot about Mon-El.
That's how little impact he has.
And then also Felicity, especially when she got into her hacker mode. I thought she was really kind of annoying. Neither of you win this. Okay. Pat Brady suggested the worst episode award. Okay, Ashley, what was the worst episode that we sat through this year?
We sat through some stinkers this year.
We did.
I'm not picking what I think was the poorest executed episode. I'm picking the one that I think has the worst concept, that I think was pandering, that I think was nonsense, that I think was a waste of time. Duet, the musical crossover episode. Who cares about Glee? It hasn't been relevant for a decade. Don't make them sing with auto-tune. Only Victor Garber's song was good. This episode was a garbage waste of my time to watch. How about you?
Jon Snow is a little bit afraid of your answer.
I didn't like it at all.
I have a tie.
Okay.
For this. My first choice for worst episode of the year is Duet.
It's not good.
Simply for the fact that I don't feel they executed. They did this giant thing where they're like, we're gonna do a musical episode, and then there's 4 songs in it.
Yeah.
So it's not that musical, and then also it does nothing to progress the plots of either show. So you literally watching it on Netflix can just skip that episode.
And Darren Criss isn't remotely scary or interesting.
And just a boring villain that they don't explain.
He's like Mr. Mixie, but less interesting.
Yeah, less interesting. My tie for that is actually a Supergirl episode called Starcrossed.
It was almost, yeah.
And that is the episode where they reveal that Wynn's girlfriend Lyra is a hillbilly alien art thief. Yeah. And Supergirl's barely in it because she had to, of course, be in Duet.
Yeah.
So that's my...
That's the best description of that episode I've ever heard.
It's just terrible. So those are my worst episodes. You guys don't get an award either. I'm not giving you that Jon Snow. All right, so the award for Best DC TV Show
Alfred
gets Alfred Pennyworth to clean up after them for a year. This is the greatest and Legends of FLARROWGIRL award. The Alfred Pennyworth.
You gotta be careful with him though, because his arm falls off.
His arm does fall off. No, I glued it back on. It's all good.
Oh, there you go.
Ashley.
Yes.
What was the best show of this year?
I think,
or this grouping of season, split. 2017, 2016.
I think we're probably gonna have the same answer for this.
I have a feeling we are.
And since you're the person who introduced me to this show, why don't you say what you think it is?
I think, without a doubt, no contest, not even close, by any other show, Arow was the best show of this season. Do you agree with that fact?
It has to be. It's just head and shoulders above the rest.
Yep.
And
Legends is the only one to me that comes close.
I think Supergirl gets some love. It was a big improvement, but
Sure.
it is like a season 1 redux.
Yep.
Yeah, Arow is just so good.
Arow, there was a streak at the end when we were reviewing Arow where it was like 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. It landed the finale, with the exception of maybe the last couple minutes. It had the best episode of the 4-part crossover.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so weird because it was an Arow clip show and part of the crossover, and it
had Force Ghosts.
And it was still the best part of the crossover, which was like crazy. It shouldn't have been the best part of the crossover.
Yeah.
They took these concepts like Wild Dog and made Wild Dog interesting.
Even Ragman.
Even Ragman was semi-interesting. He kind of dropped a bit. But, and also I felt we finally got a villain that matched up to Deathstroke. And I'm a little sad that that villain is now gone.
Yes.
Because I kind of wish we could come back to him, but I understand why you do that way. But I think Arrow did what it needed to do. Give us the great 5-season arc. Kind of give us a nice little button on the show, even though it's going forward. And it delivered. There's a reason why it had, for me, it had the best actor. There's a reason why it had the best action scenes. I don't think there's any argument here, and I would probably argue everybody in this point. I don't see how you can say it's any other show but Arrow.
I agree, because if this were the series finale,
yeah,
we wouldn't have got the explosion at the end. It was a great one.
Yeah, I think you changed.
That's what this had to be.
You changed. You changed. Here's how you. I'll give it to you. This is how you change. You take away the bombs, right?
Yeah.
Felicity and all of them run to the boat. You have the scene happen where Oliver gets on the boat with his kid. He beats Prometheus. Prometheus is like, I'm still not gonna let you win. Boom. The boat's still going out. And the kid just goes, what's that? Where are we, Dad? Or where are we? You're the Green Arrow? Yes, son, I am. What's this point of the island? What's that? That was hell. Where are we going now? Home.
Yeah.
Arrow. Series finale.
Yeah.
And you would have been like, that's a great ending.
Yeah.
You know, we would have been like, fine. And that is such an interesting thing, that episode was so good that all you got to take out is one scene and it's a series finale.
Yeah, and it's not even because the scene is particularly bad. It's just because it's season 6.
Yeah, that's great. So Arrow, please,
Alfred.
Shoot us an arrow. Flaming arrow with a message on it, and with your address, and we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll send it to Vancouver.
I thought this was a great Legends of Flarrow Girl Awards year 1.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Year 1.
Thank you to everybody for watching. Real quick, I think we're gonna keep DCTV going weekly. Now, I'm gonna try to, as we go forward into the weeks of the summer, give you a Flash or an Arrow theory video every single week. Those just come out on Tuesday or Wednesday. But then after that, I think Ashley and I, can I convince you, Ashley, I would love to, every Thursday, we have a new conversation video between you and me based on some topic that you, the viewers, give us down in the comments below. So if there's some aching question that you want to know about either past stuff or future stuff, please give it to us down in the comments. We'll shout you out in the video, and we'll make an entire just conversation video, just like DCTV, about that comment. Or if you have any other ideas about what you want to go, but I would love to, you want to come talk with me every week?
I think I could come back to this orange couch.
Here, I'll give you the award that I'm not going to send to worst episode. Would that convince you?
Jon Snow?
How about this one? How about I give you this one?
You don't have a Ron Stark.
A Ron Stark?
Ron Stark.
A Ron Swanson Stark?
Yes. I will come back for that.
I like dire wolves and bacon.
Say, I am the king of the north.
I am the king of the north.
I can't look at you.
All right. I thought I nailed the first one better. But yeah, come back every weekend and let's do some DCTV conversations.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great. All right, that's it. Thank you for coming. And I'm Billy Crystal.
What? I'm both Anne Hathaway and James Franco.
Cool. And that's it. So go down in the comments, give us some future ideas from some episodes, and click subscribe.
And why not click on one of the videos that's popped up on the screen? And for more exclusive geeky content, go to patreon.com/Jawiin.
We'll see you next week for another DCTV, and thank you so much for this award. I can't believe you really like me. I can't believe it.